All right, hello and welcome everyone to this edition of the MSP Success webinar series. I'm Jeff Johnson, head of MSP Success and Big Red Media here, Robin Robbins Companies, and really thrilled to have the team here. We've got Patrick and Michelle coming to you from Intermedia. Kind of a cool story with it that I just saw this week. I was off on vacation last week, got a message from one of our longtime Producers Club members, and they were looking for a call center solution. And the first thing that I thought was, hey, what perfect timing to be able to send them over to Intermedia of having a great solution here for that. And so I think they're already talking with you guys on this. And so that's really what this series is all about, is bringing solutions to our partners here with MSP Success to be able to match up here the solutions that you guys have or need on the MSP side to those that are in the channel. And this is a big opportunity. One more thing, and then I want to get it over to Patrick, so give him full time on this. We did a survey prior to boot camp around what solutions that MSPs were either looking to grow or add to their business the rest of the year, or really over the next 12 months from May going 12 months forward. And UCaaS, VoIP, the communication solutions here was number 3, only to 2 different cybersecurity related solutions that were out there. And so nearly 50% of MSPs are looking to add this. So if you don't have this, or you don't have a great solution in your toolkit for this right now, then this is the perfect webinar. You're in the right place and the right time of being able to do this. So with that, Patrick and Michelle, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Happy to be speaking with everybody today. Can't wait to see you live at upcoming events, and may have seen some of you recently at an event in Orlando a few weeks ago. I was happy to do so. So I'm the Senior Director of Channel Development at Intermedia, and been here about a little over a year and a half, a long time in the industry in the communication space. I love this space because it changes so much. There's always something new and exciting as people learn new ways to communicate, and new technologies enable and facilitate that. And the shift to the cloud has been a really exciting journey, and where we here now more than ever. I've also got Michelle Couture with us as well as the Director of Product Marketing, also leading over many years time in the communicating and evangelizing benefits of SaaS products and all that, right? That's where we've ended up. The voice world, which used to be very different than it is today, is now part of this software as a service industry, which is good for MSPs and those companies that are looking to drive top line monthly recurring revenue, which we all know is so valuable. So we've covered introductions. We're going to talk a little bit about the current landscape. At first, I'm going to give you just a little bit of information about Intermedia in case you're not aware of Intermedia. I know a lot of you are familiar with Intermedia, but the Intermedia that you may have known over the past 20 years is a little different today than it was then. Talk about the landscape, market timing. Michelle will talk about that. And then we'll really dig into how you capture new revenue streams, and how Intermedia, pretty uniquely, as you'll see today, really enables you to not only capture new revenue streams, but to maximize that revenue and maximize your business value, which is really critical in today's world of M&A and exit strategies over time. So we'll talk about that. Our customer ownership reseller model is what we'll focus on quite a bit today, and then wrap it up with Q&A. Intermedia, just how big are we? So we got a lot of partners, 7,000 partners. We're a very channel focused company, partner focused. 83% of our bookings and growing. I think the last number I heard just a few weeks ago was more around 85% of our bookings come from partners. So this number continues to grow. That is our route to market. Our primary focus is to serve our customers through the partners that serve them. I've got a lot of customers globally. One of the things I want to point out is the monthly revenue churn rate. This is something we're really proud of. It's less than 1%. And even more importantly, when we look at, because that includes everything, all of our email business that you guys are all familiar with, but also when it comes to our UCaaS, our voice offerings, it's down near 0.5% a month. really, really important to know that that monthly revenue churn is low, lowest in the industry, which means customers stick with us and our partners for a long time. I believe our average customer sticks with us for 7 or 8 years or something like that. So that's really important for us and for you for stickiness and making sure you've got a good, solid partner, a good, solid product offering, and customers stick with for a long time. We're a pretty sizable company at 1,200 plus personnel and growing. We're over $250 million a year in annual revenues, and 37% of our staff are part of IP development. So we are innovating at the pace of business today, which in the cloud space has to move very quickly. Things are changing quickly, and Intermedia is innovating at that pace and better. One of the ways that we're able to do that, why we have so many people innovating here, is because we own the stack. And this is something that is that not a lot of companies do in the cloud space. They're leveraging multiple partnerships, strategic partnerships with other companies that fill gaps. Intermedia has taken the approach to build and acquire all the technologies. So many of you have known us as the largest hosted exchange email provider from the early 2000s. And in 2013, Intermedia started the journey and the shift to the UCaaS and CCaaS with key acquisitions in 2013 and 2017 that enabled us to launch what we know today. And what we'll be talking about a lot today is Intermedia Unite, which is our UCaaS offering, full encompassing UCaaS offering, not just a VoIP offering that we may have had back in 2013. Then in 2019 acquired a contact center as a service company, which we needed to round out our solution, enabling us to address the market needs of mid-market and enterprise customers with contact center requirements. The last point I want to make on here is that in 2020, some of you may have seen this in the news where NEC and Intermedia announced a partnership. So one of the largest manufacturers in the world chose Intermedia, after doing all their due diligence, of course, to power their cloud offering through their partner network globally. So Intermedia is not a small regional player, global player, and vetted by some of the largest manufacturers in the world because of our product capabilities and support capabilities to power a global cloud solution for a company like NEC. So I'm going to turn it over for a minute to Michelle to talk about some of the market opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to talk with you about the market opportunity here and some of the market trends that we've been seeing that I think will really help you be successful as you're thinking about this space. So as Jeff mentioned at the beginning, UCaaS, CCaaS is on the rise. The opportunity is huge. It's $1 billion business. There are millions of seats that are on-premise today that are looking to migrate to the cloud. And even before the pandemic began, the migration had started. So businesses know that they need to do this. They need to get better ROI, lower costs, remote capabilities, et cetera. And they were starting to go about it. And the time is really now to start capitalizing on this and helping those customers and businesses move from on-premise solutions to the cloud. And what I'll leave you with is telling you it's no longer when they're going to do it, they are going to do it. It's now who they do it with. So make sure that it's you. Make sure you're the one that's helping them through that process. Don't lose your customers to your competitors. Next slide. And further, when we think about this, while the trend is actually happening, the pandemic really accelerated this. And more companies are starting to adopt these flexible work environments. In fact, we're seeing all of these large companies adopt this model. So during the pandemic last year, nearly all companies were forced to work remote. Everybody had to come and cobble together some solution in order to enable their employees, small and large alike. And so while it was painful for some people, most were able to successfully be able to do that and to deliver that solution. Well, these larger companies are really adjusting in this post-pandemic world, and they're starting to deploy this and operate for the long term by adopting this solution as the new expectation. And why is this important? It's important because it's going to change the expectation of employees. It's going to change the way that they view the workforce. It's very similar to the way that Amazon changed the retail environment, the way that we price and we buy and we deliver consumer goods. This is that similar type movement, and these trailblazers are really helping pave the path and set those expectations. So next slide, please. So why the change? Why are they even considering doing this? Well, we learned a lot during the pandemic about remote work. And I think a lot of companies went into this a little skeptical, maybe a little concerned about how remote work was going to impact productivity. And in the end, when you look at the surveys and you look at the results, it actually was considered very productive and very successful. And in fact, for some of the employers, if you look at this data set here, they actually thought it was more successful than even the employees did. So lots of benefits that came out of this remote work, and that's definitely going to pave the way for the future. Next slide, please. So if you guys didn't know this, in actually April of this year, more people quit their jobs than any month in history. And everyone's like, why are they doing that? What's going on? Well, it's likely and mostly because most people are moving out of the city to a place where it's more conducive for the lifestyle that they would like to live. And the reason they feel comfortable doing that is because they know they can get a remote job wherever they move to. So since it was so successful, it's just something that's going to need to be adopted across all businesses. And I often hear, oh, that's great for the large businesses. They're going to be able to do that. But as a small business, I'm just going to have everyone come into the office. And the advice there is not so fast. Because it was so successful doing this, employees are happier, they're more productive. And then from the business perspective for the employer, they're actually saving money on labor and travel costs and the cost of real estate in order to house all those employees. So making sure that you're retaining your top talent, you're recruiting your top talent means that these companies need to have remote work capabilities and they need to be able to adapt that hybrid workforce, small and enterprise alike, across the board. So next slide, please. So you may be asking yourself, great, this is great information. So how does this help me and why does this matter? And the way that it helps you and the reason why it matters is because right now we're experiencing a perfect storm that is literally leading everybody to the cloud. Everything is pointing towards the cloud. So first, we've been discussing the expectation is for a hybrid workforce. You need to be able to support your employees with the right tools so they can work from home or in the office or somewhere in between. The second thing is it needs to be long-term. It needs to be seamless. It needs to be integrated. It needs to be collaborative. You can't just have some piecemealed solution that causes gaps and security problems and increased costs. A lot of things were free last year that now these companies are starting to have to pay for. So it's really important to be planning for the long term to make sure that the process is very seamless and easy for the business and the employee alike. And then if those things aren't enough, the third is that there is a global chip shortage that's coming through, and it's going to provide a long-lasting disruption for any people who are relying on hardware. So huge challenges for customers and them supporting the hardware. However, it's an excellent opportunity for you as a service provider. And we know this because our most successful solution providers are identifying and capitalizing on these market trends early. So they're taking advantage of this, they're using this to their advantage, and they're acting as a trusted advisor to provide the solution to their customers and their net new prospects. So what's really critical here is you're going to be able to build with this model a recurring revenue business that's very profitable. It's going to help make your company more valuable and sticky overall. And we're not talking about a $1 or a $2 solution here. We're talking about $20 to $100 per seat per user. So there's tons of bottom line revenue opportunity for this. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Patrick, and he's going to walk you through all that goodness.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Michelle, sharing that key market information, right? Like she couldn't have said it better. Successful MSPs and solution providers identify trends and capitalize on them early to meet the needs of the customers and to lead the customers to solve problems they don't even know they may have or solve problems that are getting ready to occur, as is the case with some of the things we're going to experience over the next 18 months with the global chip shortage, for example. One thing, just pointing out that, with the focus, when we look at the business value of an MSP, there's so much focus and information over the past few years. The M&A activity has been really high over the past several years and continues. So increasing your own business valuation with that monthly recurring revenue, EBITDA, the things that are important for them to maximize that valuation, whether you're acquiring working with M&A companies and PE firms and whatever it may be, or selling your company, all these things are certainly really important. And UCaaS, cloud communications, is definitely a great opportunity to maximize both profitability and top line revenue. So today's workplace, it's changing, right? We just talked about how it's changing and what the new expectations are. And for many, it was already expectations before the pandemic. Certainly now we've established that clearly this is the new workplace, and it's not a place at all. It is a thing you do wherever you may be, from whatever device you choose to use, whether you're in the office on a physical desk phone, or more popular these days certainly is from mobile devices, wherever they may be, or just using exclusively a laptop. You still need to be able to do all the same things. So, hosted voice used to be a pretty popular product offering or thing to focus on. It was cloud voice, hosted voice, things like that, hosted PBX, if you will. Well, that's only one piece of the puzzle. Today's modern workplace, people need more capabilities, and what they've done in many cases, customers have, is they've selected these point solutions, which have created these gaps, if you will. They had something for contact center, something for meetings and online, something for phone system, something else for chat, and maybe it had business SMS, and maybe it didn't, or they were just literally using regular SMS off their cell phones. And then file collaboration. These are all key communications technologies that people need, and they need them from wherever. And the rapid deployment of various point solutions actually decreases efficiency in communication. And further, what complicates that is being able to integrate into the infrastructure of applications, the systems of record that these companies are using, including yourselves, whether you have ConnectWise or AutoTask, and the ability to manage and bill for these kind of solutions. So integrating all these various things over and over and over again can also be complex for end customers and for yourselves. So being able to address the workplace requirements in a single platform and reducing the number of applications required and the number of integrations required is certainly what needs to happen to increase workflow optimization. So that's where Intermedia comes in, right? We make it crazy simple, we like to say, with all these applications that people do need, the phone systems, the meetings, the email, contact center storage, you name it, and security, of course, which has to everything has to be wrapped in security, right? So that's what Intermedia really does with our platform that's built for partners to easily sell and support. We make it really easy for partners to get trained very quickly and easily, and operationalize everything that's needed to be able to offer all of these solutions from a single platform and bundle them with other services that you're offering to further drive your recurring revenue and provide that white glove support to your customers. So it's really being able to manage all of these things, but also making sure that you've got something that is relevant for customers. So they have the peace of mind. Is it easy to use? Does this include everything I need today? I need modern communication solutions. And we check that box. And it's very easy to use, very intuitive, easy to deploy in a secure platform, and eliminating the number of vendors and bills and invoices and costs overall for these customers. So what does modern unified communications look like that we've been talking about? So this is this is what it looks like. All right, we're kind of using a piece of it today with the webinar, or the Zoom, if you will. It's having video conferencing capabilities built into a single application, combined with the ability to manage phone calls with all the features that people expect from a phone system, if you will. The ability to have your chat and file sharing, all these different things. And file sharing, sometimes that kind of gets forgotten, and people don't think of it as part of a unified communications platform, but it is part of Intermedia's unified communications offering. The ability to share and collaborate on documents in the cloud for all the users is part of our modern unified communication solution. And certainly presence and chat, all these things integrated to click to call or click to meet and have video, making it really easy to use. Nobody has to know which channel does somebody want to use to communicate. It's very easy to escalate from a chat to a phone call to a video call within one application. PC Editor's Choice Cloud Computing Winner Product of the Year in 2021 demonstrates that this product is easy to use. Customers like it. They give us high ratings for it. And everybody has to be able to do everything I just said from wherever they may be, including their mobile device. So having all these capabilities, including video meetings and things like that directly from the mobile device, making business calls from their mobile device, not exposing their personal cell phone numbers as an example. All of these things need to happen ubiquitously wherever the end customer may be, from their laptop, their mobile phone, desk phone, you name it. For customers and for partners, one that's really important thing is to know that not every user needs all the same capabilities. So one of the things that Intermedia does for our partners is to enable you we have pre-bundled solutions that meet the needs of different types of people in the workplace. You're able to mix and match and choose the right license for the right types of users. Some of the offerings out there, everybody has to have the same level of licensing, which means the same cost for all users. So you can really provide a cost-effective solution that meets the needs of very specific users as capabilities increase. For some users, many users only need basic capabilities when it comes to their communications needs. What's really important about an ability to mix and match and provide solid capabilities for users is this 5 nines SLA. So we'll say that again, 5 nines reliability with a guaranteed SLA from Intermedia is something that you're able to extend to your customers. This is really important when it comes to voice and real-time communications, where 3 or 4 nines just isn't enough. And there's a big difference between 4 nines and 5 nines. I'll tell you, it's minutes versus hours. One of the things that we include is a free phone with every license. So we provide this free phone with every license to you as a solution provider. You can choose whether you want to monetize that and charge for it in a CapEx or a monthly recurring model, or pass on that savings to your customer and win the deals. Customers do tend to like free phones, so a lot of our partners will choose to use that as a deal closing mechanism to get the deal off the street and close business sooner. We've also got all kinds of capabilities with our platform to make sure that you're meeting the needs of your customers. Many of your customers, as you well know, have some elements of Microsoft Teams. They're considering it. Maybe they already have it. They've used part of it. And in a lot of cases, it doesn't really meet all their needs. So a lot of our partners are leveraging something that Intermedia has done uniquely, where we've actually designed and created license specific to Microsoft Teams integrations. And we have 2 options to work along with Teams or work kind of behind the scenes with Teams. But you, as the trusted advisor, are able to identify what's important to that customer, what are their needs. Does Teams, a lot of the Teams interface and solution in the embedded phone system SKU, does that take care of everything they need, or do they need a more robust PBX capability, some contact center or call center capabilities, business SMS and things like that, a whole host of things. So we make it really easy for you to have a solution for all customers, whether it's a Unite solution by itself for all of their collaboration and calling needs, or using Teams for collaboration and complementing it with a really robust UCaaS voice PBX offering behind the scenes. So that's 2 options we have. The answer is always yes, no matter what a customer needs. That's the key. Gives you everything that you need. I mentioned contact center and call center a couple times. So we do have call center functionality built right into our UCaaS offering, but we also have additional capabilities as you move up the stack and you start getting into customers who are either very customer-centric focused and they really interact with customers in a multitude of ways, and email and phone and web chat and social media. They need this contact center capabilities. And sometimes it might be 2 or 3 users that need it. Sometimes it may be a company that needs 50 or 100 or 200 or more. That's what contact center is. And as customers are rating companies they do business with, they're choosing who they do business with based on customer experience alone is like the biggest single most factor that customers choose who they do business with. Contact center capabilities becomes more and more relevant today for customers to be able to differentiate their level of service to their end customers. So we've got this capability for our partners to provide for any size customer. What's really important, so we've got great products. How do we support our partners? Now, this is something we're really proud of and our partners really appreciate. We call it the worry-free experience. backed by the reliability. I mentioned that 5 nines reliability. So we've got a solid solution, but it's also very secure. When we meet all the certification requirements for compliance, whether it's HIPAA or PCI, or having the audited data centers to make sure that we've got SOC 2 compliance for all the needs, as we're hosting data and email and voice interactions all in this one solution, this one platform, if you will. So having compliance and security is top of mind. The level of support that we provide our partners is definitely something that, when I was at the last Big Red Rodeo event and talking with a lot of the partners, we have 20 or 30 existing partners that came up to us, and they all just had great things to say about the support they've had from Intermedia. And it warms my heart. Being in the channel for so many years, it's really unique to have 100% of partners that walk up to you at an event and say, man, I love the support I get from Intermedia. One of the reasons for that is the support, the resources that we provide. So whether it's ongoing support, which is great, when you need something, you call us and we can help fix something, but it's also this onboarding and migration services. We have a partner concierge desk called PCD, and they define concierge. And so I can't say enough about the resources, the staff and support that we provide to our partners to make you look good when you're deploying a customer or migrating customers' data, whatever it may be. We provide support there to make you look good. And this isn't just that's not just a pretty PowerPoint slide. These are our customer satisfaction scores. So, we put our money where our mouth is with the SLA. We have great customer satisfaction scores. We survey all customers after an onboarding, and our partners through onboarding and customer satisfaction as we're helping. And everyone gives us great scores. So that's really important. We have the highest CSAT levels and net promoter scores in the industry, especially when you look at the UCaaS industry and specifically, we outshine everybody when it comes to net promoter scores and customer satisfaction. So that means we make you look good. One of the things that we do is to earn the JD Power Certified Assisted Technical Support certification every year. We've done this actually, we just got it for our 5th year this year. And it is an audit of 250 criteria. And this is not an award. This is not something you pay for. This is a certification. So this is how we're able to have such great first call resolution and fantastic support to our partners and customers with our highly reliable network that's redundant with the 5 nines uptime and our secure platform, millions and billions of calls and minutes of traffic going through our support team and our platform all the time. So let's switch and talk about the go-to-market options for partners and how is it that we provide you the flexibility to go to market with how you partner with Intermedia. So we've got on the left here the customer ownership reseller model we call the core model. And that's where you're able to bill and support for all the offerings that we're talking about. So including contact center, unified communications as a service, you're able to take that and private label it, which is our most popular choice by MSPs and VARs, that they choose this customer ownership model. They choose the private label so that customers aren't going on various public websites and looking at public other widely known offerings out there, or potentially buying them from someone else. But you as the partner, you own the economics. You set the pricing. You're in complete control. You take that top line revenue, which we've been talking about, and you own that customer with the customer ownership model and bundle it with all of your other services. You don't have to give your customer to someone else in exchange for a commission. On the right side of our screen is the advisor model, very similar to the agent model that many of you are using today for things like unified communications and service, where we as the cloud provider, we bill and support your customer. So we have that model available where we control the pricing, although we work with our partners. Partners like our advisor model over an agent model because they do have the ability to have more control during that and more influence on pricing and things like that, right? It's not just totally giving it away if you don't want to. You're very involved, but you get an upfront spiff and an ongoing commission in that model. It's a great way to get started. One of the unique things about Intermedia is we allow you to choose deal by deal which model you want to transact. So you may have a very large customer that maybe you're not comfortable supporting and billing, so you can transact that one in an advisor model, and we'll take on those responsibilities. And for the rest of your business, you do as a core. Basically, you get to choose. You've got the flexibility. And this is something unique to Intermedia in this space, that nobody else offers that kind of flexibility. So that's when we compare this agent model versus core model in general, because this is really what we compete with in a lot of ways. Is most of our partners, we're built for VARs and MSPs. So our primary go-to-market model and what partners choose is our core model. So it's really important just to kind of talk about what are the differences. What does it mean? So when the technology vendor controls the customer and they control the pricing and they own the customer relationships, they aren't really working for you, right? You're a sales arm for that cloud provider, and they give you a commission for it. Little hint is, if someone's paying you commission, you kind of work for them. If your technology vendor works for you and you have the ability to control the pricing, set all the rules, and you do literally own the customer relationships, and they're calling you when they need something, and you get that top line revenue. That's what Intermedia likes to say is we work for you because we enable you to do business and transact business the way you always have with other products and services over the years. So, and we do that without locking you or your customers into long-term annual contracts. So when you think about that for a minute, we don't have long-term contracts, and that's pretty unique to Intermedia as well, especially within this wholesale model, that you don't have long-term contracts. You don't have to have any contracts with your customers. If you want for the service, you could offer month to month to them, just like we bill you. Or you could, you set the rules. You could, and most of our partners will establish long-term contracts with customers for the services, but they know they've got the flexibility with Intermedia. It's month to month, so you have the flexibility to do what you want with your customers. Why is this really important to you, to the value of your business, which I've mentioned a couple times and is really, really important, that you can actually increase the value of your customer base by 30x with Intermedia. So for those of you, where these numbers kind of roll up is if you've got a premise business, you've got phone systems that maybe you're supporting, you're getting some annual revenue from that base of customers, and that's worth a certain amount of money to your business. So we have a calculator we go through with individual partners so they can really understand the impact and which way to go with advisor model versus a reseller model. Either way, there's a lot more money in it. If you go to that base of customers, we call it, there's this gold mine in your base of customers that you can either, they're going to go to the clouds or they're going to go with you. So then you have two options. Do you function as an agent or an advisor and get commissions, which is good money to get the commissions and not have to really do anything for it, but you are giving your customer to someone else to bill and support. Whoever bills and support owns the customer. But so those customer base that you have with these phone systems, and in some cases, many of you have these customers that have the phone systems and you're not making any money off of that today. So this is even more exponential if you start getting that phone business from them. The key here that I just want to kind of make before we move on is that if you take a certain amount of revenue and there's a revenue multiple, when we talk about M&As, business valuation is what is that revenue worth to your business? The key here is if you own the customer all the way on the right side, the Intermedia reseller, this core model, if you own the customer, the revenue that you get is worth at least 2x, right? There's a 2x multiplier on that revenue. So when you take a bigger revenue number and put a higher revenue multiple on it to determine the value of that revenue, you get a much drastically exponential revenue valuation for your business. So this is where it's always a minimum of 20 to 30x when you look at the on-premise system monthly recurring revenue versus owning it as a cloud and selling in the core reseller model and have that monthly recurring revenue. It's a huge business valuation boost for you. Even if you just compare it to advisor and say, okay, what if I sold these customers as an advisor and compare that to the reseller model? It's 15 times more valuable to you to sell in a reseller model. So it doesn't always come down to just the anatomy of a deal and the margin on the license. You really look at the big picture, and the value to your business over the long term is significantly better with the reseller model. Intermedia wraps all of these services that we offer. So how do we operationalize and give you something that you can actually easily manage and improve operational efficiencies, to really be able to provide a good customer experience with lower costs. We have something called the Host Pilot Control Panel that wraps all of these different services, voice and data services that we've mentioned, into a really intuitive and pretty awesome portal. Seeing is believing. This is usually the moment when we go through a demo with our partners, and we're gonna want you to register to have a conversation with us. We'll give you a link later where you can check out a demo. When you see the portal, that's really the secret sauce that Intermedia has. We've built this portal from the ground up over years and years of time, and layered in all these new capabilities, UCaaS, contact center, you name it, into this, so that you're able to have a quote to cash portal. Very simple, easy to use. You can test and assess networks before you deploy voice, which is very sensitive to network conditions, and test the network, determine if there's any other revenue opportunities for you to upgrade some hardware. Order your services, start provisioning users immediately. There's no length of time to wait. You're really enabled completely yourself to spin up a customer, quote to cash in a day, and start provisioning users, and then support them with a built-in knock capability that gives you alerts. You can subscribe to different types of alerts, so your knock can be alerted if there's any issues before customers even call you. And then we wrap up all the billing and tax information into this portal to make it really easy for you, including integrated for those of you who have ConnectWise and Autotask, other platforms, to get information directly into it. We do have a new integration with ConnectWise in particular that really makes billing much simpler for your business. One of the challenges that partners run into with billing and taxation for telecom services. So a lot of partners have stayed away from trying to bill customers for these services because it's complex, and you have to have systems and capabilities or pay for services to calculate and remit for taxes. There's the regulatory filings and all the states you want to sell into. It's a big deal. For core partners, we completely take all of that off of your plate and provide you the information you need, so you can very simply bill your customers for your charges that include the proper and appropriate taxes based on where that location, where that customer is, where their users are, and we will remit all of those to all the authorities, FCC, SEC charges, everything that's required. We take care of all that for you, and handle all of the quarterly filings that are required, the administrative workload on the back end that a lot of people don't even know about, saving you thousands of dollars in bottom line costs, labor hours, administrative staff overhead, you name it. This is a pretty big deal. So the fact that you don't even have to worry about it makes this very operationally efficient and reduces your costs on the back end. As you grow with Intermedia, we have a partner program, so we call it the Intermedia Partner Accelerate. So as you grow your business with Intermedia, you can increase your profitability, get better pricing as you grow year over year, and increase your volume of sales and your capabilities and your specializations. We have a very mature partner program that one would expect from a major manufacturer. We have that for partners. In addition to just pricing, though, right? Because this is a partner program. It's really all about the support. So I can't understate or overstate the importance of all the support and other benefits, including marketing support. We've got channel marketing team, we've got a whole marketing team with their whole job and goal in life is to help partners generate demand and grow revenues and assist with campaigns. So much so that we've actually created an additional partner platform for you, this partner portal we call All Access, that enables partners to have all co-branded collateral, videos, vertical campaigns, vertical collateral, run campaigns from this platform free. Everything, all these things that I'm talking about are free things that we provide to our partners, which is really unique in this wholesale UCaaS space. A lot of the smaller regional offerings that are out there from other providers, they're small companies, they don't have the robust network and infrastructure and the resources to be able to support partners in the way that Intermedia does. And to be able to provide a platform like the All Access platform to enable you to run an actual marketing campaign directly from this platform. You load the contacts and numbers and everything into it, and all your emails and all that directly into the platform and run it. We don't see any of that stuff. It's an additional tool for our partners. Or if you want to take the collateral that's ready to go with the campaigns and take that collateral and use it in your other marketing systems, then you can certainly do that too. But You don't have to rebrand the collateral and the videos and all that. Our portal kind of does that for you. So it makes it very easy to private label the collateral if that's what you choose to do. Some partners will choose to leverage the Intermedia brand. Most want to use their own brand. This is also where you as partners would see our promotions and incentives. Another unique thing that we do, particularly in this wholesale model, to provide promotions and incentives to you, the partner, to help you increase profitability, to motivate and incentivize your sales staff to sell more, or to help you close deals with your customers. Intermedia provides all of these types of resources to our partners to help grow the business, and that's really ultimately what's unique about Intermedia is that every step of the way, Intermedia is a true partner. We're not just a platform for you to go figure out how to do everything else yourself and drive demand and sell. I mean, we've got co-selling resources with partner account managers and sales executives to help you close deals. We do a lot on the onboarding to help you build the practice. So if voice is new to you, that's okay. We're literally experts at helping companies that have never sold voice before to operationalize and learn how to build a UCaaS practice. And it's one of those things that everybody needs it. It's a lot easier to sell, a lot more complex solutions out there. Some people stay away from voice. They think it's complex. Boy, cybersecurity, I'd say that's a lot more complex than UCaaS solutions are today. And everybody's using these tools today. So everybody knows how to use them. So you probably know more than you think you do if you're not actually selling these things today and supporting them. But we make it easy to build that practice, to operationalize, get your sales teams trained. To the marketing readiness I mentioned is a pretty unique thing that we do out there to really enable you and collaborate with you to build marketing plans and take products to market, grow your top line revenues, not to mention the additional pull-through revenue you're going to get from selling these services and bundle your additional services, and it drags on all of your other services into these new customers. And it's a new offering that you can sell to your existing customers. Key point of the value of a business when somebody's looking at and buying that business. How long have your customers been with you? How much are you getting? What's your average revenue per customer? All those things are really important when people really start doing due diligence in the M&A space. So having the tools and a good partnership to help you grow your business in a meaningful way and add new services to existing customers and go get net new ones, because you got to do that. With something that's easy to sell, that everybody needs and is easy to support, because Intermedia makes it easier than everybody else. That's what it's all about. So Intermedia is here to really truly partner with you. And I would say that's one of the things that I hear from a lot of companies out there, small and large, MSPs, copier companies that have never sold voice, you name it, that have partnered with us and built successful practices. I hear them say things like, I've never had a partner treat me so well or provide so much resource and support to me when I need it and to help me grow my business. That's something Intermedia is really proud of, and it's not something you can find just anywhere. So let's talk a little bit about, all right, well, what's the money? What are we talking about with a deal? What does a deal look like? So with this reseller model, the core model, just want to compare that to an agent model. So if we took a 50 user deal, basically in an agent model on the left here, you can see year one has $8,000 in revenue for you, because that's a spiff, an upfront spiff, so they're paying you 4 or 6x if it's a larger deal, and then you get your yearly commissions on year 2 and 3. So your total revenue, which is the total of its entirety, right? Because it is just a commission, is $14,000. Little note here, I don't know if you picked it up on the M&A slide earlier, the business valuation slide. So that commission stream, that revenue, which is nice, it's $14,000 a year for this customer, is only worth 50 cents on the dollar when it comes to acquisition time and business value, because you don't own the customer. It's good money today, it's okay, and you don't have to support the customers, I guess, which sometimes is a bad thing because maybe the cloud provider isn't doing as good a job as you could, but it's only worth 50 cents on the dollar when you go to sell your business or merge or whatever it may be, or pass the business down to your family. Over on the core side, on the right here, we look at the revenues here. So now this is if you're billing the customer yourself, right? So you own the customer, you get to take that top line revenue, and what's that worth to you? Not only is it worth a lot more revenue, 221% more, there's also more profitability into it. So it's certainly worth doing, and we make it easy to do, and it's very lucrative for your business and profitable right up front. And remember, it's not just about the deal and the profit on the deal. That's great. And yeah, we provide you that profitability. Matter of fact, a lot of partners are able to bundle more things, charge for those free phones, for example, to even further drive that profitability up. This comparison I showed you is just on core licensing. Before you add any of your value add services, determine if you're going to charge a few bucks a month for phones or not, or pass them on free. You have all that flexibility to maximize your margins and make sure that you're really building a good, profitable book of business, and with excellent customer support. And with that core model, again, this is what most of our MSPs and VARs and our partners are choosing. That's why I'm talking about that more. We do have that advisor model, deal by deal basis. If you just want to say, look, you guys take care of it, I just want the commission, that's fine. We do that too, but this is our differentiator for you that resonates with companies like yourself. Getting started is easy. Certification is free. So to get your sales and technical certifications online, free of charge, do it at will. You can knock it out in a day. That top line revenue, when you compare an agent model to the customer ownership model, it's worth at least 15% more to your business doing the core model where you own the customer. You can do this without those regulatory and tax headaches. That is really an important point. I just want to keep reminding everyone that we do make that easy, and you're backed by JD Power certified support that you can really tout. We've got the support, so you know you're going to look good and you're not going to be left stranded. And you got a 5 nines SLA to guarantee that the customer solution is going to work well. No annual contracts. We have to earn your business every month, and we give the phones away so you can add that to your profitability or use it to close the deals as you will. And those are really the key takeaways I wanted to make sure that everybody took away from what we had to share today, in addition to having all the product information and industry information. So this is how we add value to solution providers. I know we're going to send you some information out. We're going to go to Q&A now, but here's our phone number. There's a URL if you wanted to type that in and go right directly to that URL and get more information. Basically, if you fill out the web form, we'll be in my team. One of my teams will be in contact with you, and we can have the conversation, set up the demos, and show you everything that you need to know, how to be an intermediate partner and how we work for you. So we'll turn it over to questions.
All right, excellent job, Patrick. That was a wealth of information here, not just on Intermedia, but also on the industry as a whole and how it relates to MSPs. So fantastic job with that. Very educational. Sonia was asking here, how much support do we have to provide as a core partner? So how does that differ between the reseller and the core partner?
Great question. So partners they provide the tier 1 support. So they take that tier 1 call from the customer, make sure it's not a network issue or something else, make sure basic programming is correct. And basically anything they need beyond that, they call our live 24/7 technical support. And it's phone, chat, email, you name it, we're there for you to resolve the issues on the spot.
Excellent. Michelle, I think you had one. I think you're on mute though, Michelle.
Sorry, thank you. Do you have any incentives or spiffs for your partners at Intermedia?
That's a great question. Yes, we do. We're always running some incentives for our partners. Sometimes there are spiffs and incentives to help partners motivate their sales teams or just drive increased profitability. One example would be our current promotion that we have, this move to the cloud. So all these PBX customers out there, you've got them, whether you're making money off the PBX part or not, they're there in your base. And you could, what our current promo is $25 per seat. You sell that customer, get that top line revenue, you own it, and we'll give you an additional $25 per seat with this current promotion that's running now. That's just one example. We're always running various promotions and incentives for our partners.
Awesome. What about with, it looks like ConnectWise? Does your solution integrate with ConnectWise?
It does, and what's great about it is it addresses one of the most difficult things that partners can have, and that's billing. So if you have ConnectWise, we've got a certified integration with ConnectWise, also very important. It says certified, supported by ConnectWise, and it eases the billing. It gives all the information directly into ConnectWise so that billing is just like everything else that you're doing.
And then it looks like there's a comment coming through talking about not paying enough attention to the customer's existing internet circuit. Do you want to talk about maybe VoipScout or Intermedia's solution for helping to solve with some of those things?
Absolutely. So VoipScout, you just touched on a key tool that we provide, again, free to our partners as part of that partner portal, the host product control panel. So you're able to run a test with this VoipScout for, we recommend 3 days before deploying our solution, and it will just constantly run and give full, complete detail of all the performance of the network that supports that needs to support the voice calls. So you'll know going up front, is there a solid connection from point A to point B and within the customer's network? And then the tool we have that allows you to really drill down. So I mentioned that knock, the built-in knock, if you will, that allows you to be alerted or just proactively go and look at all of your customers, look for any reds and yellows, poor quality calls, things like that, and drill all the way down to find out where exactly that problem is for that individual that poor call, if it was a poor quality call, and to see, is it the customer network side, was it on the upstream side or the downstream side, was it something else? So we provide great tools and visibility for the partners to troubleshoot those kind of things and make sure that they have the proper network in place. But we definitely use 100% of the deployments are over the customer's internet connection. We don't provide direct private connections into the customer's network. It's right over the public internet.
Patrick, a question on this, and then I see. Well, there's actually a follow-up on there. What about VoipScout for the work for home users? That's going to be as big as most home circuits or coax internet or UVerse or such. So on the work from home side of things, how does that work with the VoipScout?
Yeah, I mean, you could put the client anywhere. So it's just a piece of software that would run on the home person's machine if you wanted to test their internet connection at home. I know most internet connections at home, are supporting a lot more than just our VoIP. The good thing about VoIP is it doesn't take a lot of bandwidth. It's just sensitive to changes in the bandwidth, and delay and jitter and things like that. So you can certainly run VoipScout in a home office if you want. People have been working out of their homes for a lot of years using a voice over IP and having the right technology, using the right codecs to mitigate challenges over public internet is something Intermedia has been doing for years. So we're definitely we perform very well. I'm a home worker and have been for a number of years, and I don't have issues working from my home on my internet. Obviously, sometimes internet connections aren't great, so the VoipScout's going to let you know if it's not, so you know to recommend that they replace it if needed.
Then another question here: what is the certification for? What are we being certified in?
So certification is so there's a sales certification, so you know how to sell a solution. That's always handy, so you can sell the right thing. And then there's a technical certification for your post-sale support techs. Both of those are free and online and can be knocked out. Both of those can be knocked out in a day. So the technical certification just gives you the basics of how do I provision users and support users. How do I deploy and support this stuff. We have other training that's available too to understand how porting works, telephone number porting. We have a whole porting team, and a process and visibility right in the portal to help our partners manage everything that needs to be managed with deploying a voice solution. But the certification, sales, and technical support so that you can properly support your customers for that tier 1 support. And then we're there for you for everything that you need. If you can't figure it out, give us a call and we'll help you resolve the issue.
And then, another question. Every time I keep on trying to ask the question that I had, another question pops up. So is everything 100% white labeled, or is it under the Intermedia brand?
Excellent. Love it. So this is, so many partners choose our what we call private label, this customer ownership model. So it is 100% white labeled. So let me explain what that means. So the client itself on the mobile app store and on the desktop is the client is called Elevate. And that's obviously you can't have a unique Apple Store app for every partner that wants to change the name, all right? So you got to have that. So that's how we do that. The product is gray labeled, if you will, but everything outside of that, the Intermedia name does not show anywhere. Knowledge bases, help files, your billing information, everything is your brand. It is a white label solution. Intermedia's name isn't to be found anywhere.
Excellent. And then just one last question here before we get wrapped up, as we're reaching the top of the hour. A lot of the opportunity that I tend to see for the MSPs is on existing client base. When someone signs up with Intermedia as an MSP partner of coming in, what do you typically see that looks like? I mean, obviously they've got to get the training of knowing how on the technical side, but also on how to sell it. But what can someone expect of coming in if they've got that good, solid, stable of business clients and their client base, they've got a thriving MSP practice, and then now being able to add in this side of it as an add-on to the business. What do you say? Are there trends of what you see? I'm sure it's a little bit all over the place, but what do you typically see on that?
There's a few different things. So there are companies that have never had a voice offering before, MSPs who maybe just haven't had anything, and they have referred business away to another local provider or maybe to a cloud provider and really function as an agent in that model, which isn't in the DNA of an MSP or a VAR that typically owns customers who are referring business out, and giving that business away for a commission is unnatural for an MSP or VAR, but that's typically the only choice that they've had. So many of them look like that. And they sold some voice business transactionally, but they have this huge base of customers. So that's where really, once we get the things operationalized in sales, we've got a very well-defined onboarding program and process, and we know what needs to happen and how to get you up and running quickly to make you proficient. And then our marketing resources and support there enables you to make your customer base aware of something that you now have to offer to them that leverages your white glove support and something they just can't get anywhere else, because it really ultimately comes down to the technology you get and who's providing and supporting it determines how well it works for a business. And that's what MSPs, that's how they built a business, is to be able to do that. So we have the marketing support, the ability to go after that base is huge, using our tools and working with our marketing team for some one-off things. Hey, look, I want to arrange something else. I want to do something custom. We've got people to help do that, and then as well as the net new growth. And then we have other partners who have other solutions that are more VoIP solutions. They may have PBX customers. They have some other things that they've sold that were homegrown, things like that. And we find those partners, once they get into this, they realize, hey, I want to move all of these guys over to here because this is easier. It's more profitable. It's a modern communication solution. This other stuff was getting hard to sell because maybe it was just a VoIP solution. And that's not what people are looking for today. And referring everybody, tell them to go use this for chat and this for video and meetings. That's not really a value add. So a lot of those partners will look to move a lot of that business over the Intermedia, and we actually have ways of helping you do that as profitably as possible with our partner concierge team, and onboarding support will help you get all those provisioned and make those migrations move very well, and often have incentives if there's a large base of business to move over, which is profitable for you and helps you because we're going to reduce a lot of costs in the process. We will also often work out incentives for doing that quickly.
Yeah, cool. And I know you guys did a great webinar just recently with Robin as well. And maybe that might be something I'll check with the team that we might be able to, with the replay link on this, bundle that up so that they've got that, because she was talking with you guys about specifically for your partners on selling voice communication, selling the communication suite there too. And I know that was very well received of a webinar that she did. So, well, great. Hey, this has been fantastic, Patrick. I've really enjoyed this of going through. I hope everyone else has as well. Always great partnering with you guys, as you mentioned with Big Red Rodeo, multiple times here with the MSP Success webinar series. And so appreciate your partnership. And guys, go check it out, intermedia.com/MSP Success. Get signed up there, or give them a call, talk with someone there, talk it through to be able to see if it is the right fit for you in your business. So with that, Patrick and Michelle, I think we're going to wrap it up for today's call, and we will see all of the rest of you on the next MSP Success webinar. Thanks all.